This is Formula One.
God, that was awesome. Hello everyone and welcome to the final video of the BUKC from the Swansea Uni Motorsport Club. This time it is the last event of the BUKC. It is the Drivers' Champs, and I'm happy to say that everyone competing had their own cameras. We had Jasper, we had Ben, and we had Adrian. So we'll get straight into it, and in the first race it is me and Jasper racing in the heavyweights. I'm starting all the way down in 31st. I believe Jasper's starting just a bit in front of me in 22nd. So we're going to stay on board with Jasper for the first race as we get going here. Jasper didn't have a very good start into his last race, and that man's had an even worse start. He didn't even make it to the first corner, and Jasper has made it through the first corner, so he's done already better than his first sprint race in the mains championship. I think he just got overtaken by that man in the very colourful helmet in just there, and he gets a hell of a whack and by the minion, because there were minions racing for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Jasper giving him a point just to point out, yes, that man did give me a push, and I think he's just got another push by the man, I think that's Sam Moffat, who's still drunk, and that's the Ferrari man coming through, and you should be able to, and Jasper's really getting budged up, and even I'm able to overtake him, and we'll see my start in a bit, but Jasper does get back on me because I ran into a bit of trouble, and now Jasper's stuck behind a man from Warwick, and so we're coming down into the boot. I can't quite say that Warwick man's got one hell of a name. So these people are going three abreast into the boot. Is Jasper going to be able to make up any positions? It looks like he is going to get the Warwick man round the outside of the second part of the boot. Is he? It looks like he is. That's actually quite a good move from the man in blue and white. So now we come on board to see what happened at my start, and I decided to play a cautious game because I was right at the back and there was nothing to lose, and I was just going to pick up the pieces from the start. And we can see there the man who spun just before the first corner. I've made up about 4 positions there as I am able to keep out of trouble coming into the first part, and I decided to just take the racing line coming into Christmas so that I can avoid any troubles. That has slightly slowed me down, and that's allowed that man in the red and white to come through, and so we're now, but it's still all to play for as we come down into Lady Apron. There's some argy-bargy going there, and I come to the outside. Now I've got the better line coming out of the corner. It looks like I could be in with a chance of making up a load of positions, but as I mentioned earlier in the Jasper video, I got a little bit of a bump there, and there were people spinning out, so I had to back off, and that allowed Jasper to get back through, and I'm now incredibly excited because I get to race Jasper and put him in his place and show him that I'm better than him, because, well, I just am. So I'm now looking to pick up the pieces coming into the boot, so Jasper makes his move round the outside of, not going to try and pronounce that, but as you can see here, that again proves how good a move that was, just proved it round the outside. So now I'm going to try something audacious coming into the first corner as I go to the outside line, and I'm not able to do anything there, but that's going to set me up very nicely coming down to Christmas. You saw there was another spinner, so more positions made, but I lose out to Warwick man, and now Jasper is going into Christmas, and he does, well, quite blatantly, he knocks him all the way out. As we see there, I make up more positions, and even though Jasper has just gone past another incident, he's been given a black flag, number 31, that is his number. I should also mention I'm racing in number 14 because that's my special karting number, which makes me feel special. Anyway, now we're racing Warwick again, and this feels very reminiscent of the rookies yesterday, but I'm going to come down into Christmas. Hopefully he doesn't try and bump me off and I make the move, get the move sorted, but now he tried to come back on the outside, and I do exactly the same what I did to Hobson in the rookies as I make it through, and now Jasper comes through to serve his penalty, but there's a man in the way. There was a pushcart John who was in the way, which is very annoying, and unfortunately not really a lot happened in Jasper's race. He got overtaken once or twice, but there we go. So these two people, one's a minion and one is a man in black and white, and there are two people who spun there. Just say those two people I've been gaining on for most of this race, and so I'm trying something down the inside. I might have got the minion. For the moment I've got him, but is he going to come back? Yes, he has. He steams down the inside. Now he's going to look to go down the inside of black and white, and that's a good move. But unfortunately, black and white pushed me out to the outside, and now another black and white has got through. So the new black and white got past the old black and white, and now I'm going to try and get past the old black and white, and I do that into the reverse Lesmo, but I'm conscious that he's going to maybe try something into the second part, and he does, and he gives me a bump, and that sends me across the grass. I'm going to lose the ground that I've made, and he gets past, and I've lost about 4 positions there, and I wasn't particularly happy about that because it just didn't really need to happen. So we cut further on, and the minion has overtaken the black and white man who put me off, and I was going to do a very good cutback, but unfortunately I couldn't because there was a bit of contact there. So now I'm going to do something down into the inside of the final part of the boot, and I make it stick, and that was the end of my race. And considering that I started in 31st, the fact that I finished in 18th would, I say, qualify as a pretty good result there for me in number 14. And Jasper came home to finish in, I believe, I'm not entirely sure, I think it was 29th, but yeah, there we go. Unlucky Jasper that you shouldn't have put that man off. So now it's time for Ben to race. I can't remember what number Ben is, so I'm going to ask him. There we go, waiting for a response. Let's see what Ben gets back to me with. Anyway, Ben's starting up in, from the looks of it, that's maybe 11th, I think. I thought something like that. And now, so Ben, is he going to be able to get through the first corner with no incident? He does get a bit barged there, but no, he got barged, but he then made all the positions back up, and he's actually, if I can count forward, I think he looks like he's in about 8th or 7th. Make that now 8th or 7th or 6th. Can't speak. And now Ben's been barged out by that man, and now he's stuck behind someone who I recognise that helmet. That's been on the BUKC Facebook page, but doesn't matter anymore because Ben's been overtaken yet again. I think he's barged a few people off the track. Ben and Hobson should get together, I think. But he's getting a nice little bit of drive through the first of the reverse Lesmos coming through there, but he has been Adrian'd going through into the second of the reverse Lesmos, and now it looks like he's going to be overtaken by another man. Yes, there he goes. And so Ben, despite losing those positions, he made up a load at the very start, so I'd say he's roughly where he started at the moment, which is good going for him because he is in the lightweight category. This is the lightweight B, so Ben is now going to duck down. Ben's seen my message, so we're going to find out anytime soon what number he is. Can't wait for that. And there's a bit of pandemonium going on up here, and is Ben going to be able to make up any space, any positions? It looks like he could be able to get 1 or 2 maybe as we come down into Christmas. He's going to try something around the outside of Christmas, which is very audacious, but he's going to instead he's going to get overtaken by Santa. You don't say that every day. And there's another man from Warwick, I can't quite see his name, I think it could be Chris, I'm not entirely sure. At least that's an easy one to pronounce. For some reason Ben decided to video chat me. Ben, the numbers are at the top, just type them, it's not that difficult. So yeah, again, unfortunately not a lot happened in Ben's race. He was stuck behind Chris for a number of times, he lost it a bit there on the grass, and now the man in the yellow shirt, in the yellow helmet has got past. He's giving me a finger for some reason, I'm not entirely sure. There we go, finally Ben's told me that he is racing in number 27, but it's a bit pointless because the race has just ended. Ben, you need to get quicker on your typing there. And I say tar, and he says no worries. I've always wondered, why do people say no worries when someone says thank you? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, Ben did quite well. I think he finished in 12th maybe? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, we cut on, now we're with Adrian, who is racing with number 17, which was the A-team's kart number last year. So Adrian has already made up a place because that man's gone spinning off, and it looks like he's made another one, and he's going to try going down the inside of a load of people, and that is a very good start indeed for the man in red as we head down into Christmas. Is it all going to be clean through here? Nope, there's 1, 2, there's quite a few, and Adrian unfortunately got a little bit caught up in that and has lost all those positions that he made up, and there's a man in a onesie just going through there. I'm really confused by the whole Minion Santa, no, the Santa one makes sense because one of the corners is Christmas. But yeah, anyway, don't entirely know. Adrian points to him as well to point out, why are you wearing a onesie? You should be wearing a race suit. That doesn't make any sense. So he gives him a bump as well for good measure as we come into the second reverse as well. Did he get overtaken? No, he didn't. Very well done, Adrian. You are progressing up the ladder, heading down into the boot section. Is there going to be anything here for Adrian to makeup. He's bumping the onesie man. It looks like he's going to try and overtake it. It's all a bit chaotic, but it looks like he's just about got through and is now stuck behind a man in all black. He should probably play for New Zealand as we head on to the second lap and cut away. So Adrian's stuck behind this man now, and he's going to try something very late into that fast right-hander. You don't see a lot of overtakes into there, but he doesn't quite get it done. So now Adrian's still stuck behind this man going into Christmas. Are we going to see Santor or Rudolph going down there? Nope, we're not, but Adrian has done a nice move there and is now in front. So now we are heading through the fast right-hander and into Lady Apron. Is Adrian going to be overtaken here? No, he's not. He's stuck behind a big, reasonably sized group of karts, and it looks like he is in with a chance of making up some positions as these two are fighting as they go into the second reverse Lesmos, as blue and white tries to have a go, and this has now given Adrian a very good opportunity coming into the boot section, but for some reason he just can't stop barging people. When, well, Adrian, you just got to stop that. You never know, you might get a black flag later on in the day. That could happen. But anyway, he's going to try something into the final bit of the boot, and he does do it. That's very good. And yes, again, that was pretty much it for all the racing. Not a lot happened. So yeah, just don't really know what to tell you. I'm sorry, there's just not a great deal of racing in these. But now we're going to see some even better racing, because we're back on board with me as I'm throwing another Shaka, and I am starting in P2, which is very exciting for me. I've never started this high up before in my life in a Club 100 car. So the start didn't, actually for me the start went okay, because I only lost one position. I was expecting to lose pretty much all of them. So now we're coming down into Christmas and we're hoping to be able to maintain the position, and it looks like we are going to just about. So we're now cut on board to Jasper, who I believe is starting in P11, so I'm hoping that he's going to be able to catch me up and we can have a bit of a ding-dong. And speaking of ding-dongs, Jasper is getting ding-donged there, and it looks like he's got through just okay, and there's a man spinning in the middle of the track. I hope everything works out there as we're heading down to Christmas. I hope, again, I'm very much hopeful that everything went okay. Jasper didn't get much. Jasper got overtaken there a bit, and he's trying to fight back on this man in the white and black, but we're now going to cut on board. We see here a red flag, and that man who's found in the middle unfortunately got completely T-boned by another car when we got out. So yeah, a red flag. I've never seen a red flag in a Club 100 race before, so this was all very, very concerning. When we got back to the pits, I thought that, based on the description, I thought that the guy had a car drive into the side of him, but fortunately that's not what happened. He just got thrown into the middle of the track, didn't get run over at all, and actually he was okay. He was so good, in fact, that he was able to go out and race again. Well done, that man. Very good result, and very happy to see that he was okay. Anyway, we're on to the second restart, and once again I have been overtaken by the man in P3, but that's okay. But it's actually a much better start for me, as I'm able to hang on to the back of these two as I went down to Christmas. Am I going to look for maybe an audacious move? I don't particularly want to, because I like to be a bit more cautious. And so coming through the left-hander, now the right-hander, and I'm still just about hanging on to the back of these guys as best I can as we come in there, and now you can just see they're starting to move away, and so we're back on board with Jasper to see how his start went, and it looks like it's not quite as ding-dongy as it was before, and he's even going to try and do something down the inside of the second part of the first corner, but that hasn't quite worked out as he gets overtaken by this man in the black and the white. And there's another man overtaking him into the inside of Christmas, and someone else is going to try and come through, but actually Jasper had a much better start than he did in the first start. And so, but actually, no, take that back. He's lost a number of positions there. It looks like he might be about to lose another one around the outside of Lady Apron. Jasper, that's a hairpin. You shouldn't be losing position around the outside of a hairpin. But that man in the blue and black has just done a fantastic move. Got about well, that man's getting back past him. And fair play to Jasper as well. He's just got past those two people into the second of the reverse Lesmos. So we're back on board with me as I'm coming out of the second of the reverse Lesmos. I'm still in P3, but is that all about to change? I look to my left, and yes, it looks like it is about to, as this man's going to try and move down the inside of the first boot, and that allows him through, so I'm down to P4. P4's, oh, no, back into P5 now, because a minion has got past me. That's always quite depressing. So we're coming out of the first Lesman. We're going to the second Lesman, and I've been Adrian'd, and this is a diabolical thing to have happened. I did never want to be Adrian'd. So now we're back on board with Jasper coming down the back straight, and it looks like he's having a fight with that man there. Is he going to be overtaken? Yes, he is, by another man in black and white. Is he going to be able to fight back Jasper? Doesn't look like he is. He gets a bit of, I think that's understeer or oversteer. I don't know the difference. Somebody explain to me. You're all engineers, I'm only languages. Anyway, Jasper comes into Lady Apron, gets hit and spins. Yes, you thought I'd forgotten, hadn't you? Nope, Top Gear last for all, and Jasper's out of his race again, which means he's in the B final for sure. Meanwhile, towards the front, I'm being overtaken yet again by that man in the blue helmet, and I'm down to P7. It looks like I'm about to be relegated to P8. Yes, there goes the man in all black. He should probably play for New Zealand as well. But to be honest, at the moment, I'm just happy to be racing in the top 10, which is something I've never actually achieved before, as we head down into the boot. And I get another tap, and I'm across the grass yet again for the second race in a row. I've gone across the grass. I should take up gardening. And I thought it was that man in the red and white, but it actually turned out to be a man in black and white. And I didn't get any of those positions back, and I initially finished in P13, but that after penalties were applied, that was upgraded to P11, which is actually my best finishing result ever, equals my best finishing result ever in a Club 100 kart. And unfortunately, nothing happened in Jasper's race after his spin, and that was the end of his race. Don't remember where he finished. So now we cut back on board to number 27 is Ben in his second race. He's starting a bit further back, and we're looking to see if he can get through the first corner with no issues, which could be quite difficult, but it looks like he's doing okay for the moment. It hasn't really gained anything, hasn't really lost anything. Well, he might have lost 1 or 2 positions. Actually, he's losing a few positions now as he keeps to the outside and cuts in. That is a dangerous tactic that looks to have worked in the sense that he hasn't been punted off, but he's still in the mix at the moment as we head down into Lady Apron, and there's a bit of a lock up there. Ben, I think he just did a nice little move around the outside of Lady Apron, probably a load of Jaspers, and now he's on the grass trying to get past the man who looks like he's Jasper, and he's giving the Jasper lookalike another argy-bargy. Fortunately, Jasper's not Adam, so I'm not going to give him copyright infringements for fashion copying. And so Ben now coming down into the boot, and it looks like he's gonna spin.
You might get in trouble.
Yeah, you might get into trouble, Ben, because you're all the way on the grass, and well, that's pretty hilarious. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Either he got punted or he just locked up the brakes. Either way, it's pretty funny that he spun out, as did that man there. And that is, once again, literally the only thing that happened in the race. I don't really understand, but anyway, Ben didn't fit. Again, Ben finished low down, and so he's probably in the B final, lightweight B final, like Jasper is in the heavyweights. And we're back on board with Captain Adrian as he comes through the first corner, and he looks as he was starting further up. I think he's starting in P11. And he's just about maintaining position for the moment as the leaders start to sort themselves out. Is Adrian going to be able to make up any positions? Doesn't look like it. He's going to try, but that man there's just run across the grass, so that's going to allow Adrian through, and he's now trying to overtake Simpson, and who's in a very lovely green helmet. I do appreciate a good green helmet, and it looks like Adrian has muscled his way through on Simpson into lead, but no, he lets him back through because it was argy-bargy, and that is the correct thing to do in that situation. And he's yet again barging people. Stop barging people, Adrian, and waving to them isn't going to do anything better. So he gets past the man in the onesie as well, but stop barging people, Adrian, it's bad. So we're coming into the reverse restaurant, and guess what happens next? Yep, Adrian gets overtaken by the man he was racing in the first of his sprint races. So we're back on board with this race right now, and so Adrian is losing time now into the boot, so it's not going to look like anything's going to happen into the final part of the boot as he comes round and spins. What?
The show goes on!
Yeah, because when that happens, that is how literally everybody reacts. That is just what happens. But unfortunately, nothing happened in Adrian's race again. So, but to be honest, for a race where nothing happened, for that to have happened, that's all right by me. So Adrian was able to qualify into the lightweight A final, and I was able to qualify into the lightweight. I was able to qualify into the heavyweight A final as well. So we're on the heavyweight B final. There was a restart for some reason, and we were with Jasper, and oh my god. Well, if if this race had been allowed to go on, that would have been the best start ever for Jasper, but as predicted, it was restarted. And so it's third time lucky here for Jasper, and it looks like he's got through the first part of the corner yet again quite well. So now we're coming down to Christmas. Is there going to be any opportunity for drama here? Well, that man's getting himself locked up, but Jasper's keeping himself out of trouble. He didn't get overtaken, which is very good. Now he's going to be in opposition to do some overtaking himself as we head down towards Lady Apron. Is there going to be any drama here? There's a little bit. It looks like Jasper's made up at least one position because that man ran wide there. And now we're coming into the first and reverse Lesmos, and it looks like Jasper might be able to do a very good move as... No, not quite, but that man's gone through, and it looks like Jasper might be able to pick up the pieces, but no, unfortunately he isn't, and now it looks like he's about to lose a position to that man in all red coming into the boot, and he gets done down the outside, but there was a bit of contact, but there were also two spinners, so Jasper has made up time, positions even, and now he did run wide into the boot. And now we're further in the race, and Jasper looks like he's going to be able to get a move done on the man in all red, but unfortunately he just quite can't make it stick there. So now we're coming into Christmas, and is Jasper going to go for an even more audacious... No, oh, that was so close to a spin, and Jasper doesn't want to spin because otherwise Richard Hammond, James Mayer, Jeremy Clarkson are going to laugh at him again. And now, so we're coming into Christmas, Jasper's going to try again on the man in all red, but it just doesn't work out. And now we're further ahead. It looks like Jasper has lost sight of the man in all red. Actually, no, you can just see him up there. But he's racing a man in red and white now. Is there going to be an opportunity for Jasper to do some good coming out of the boot? No, it doesn't look like it. That was the end of his race, and that was the end of Jasper's season in all. So now we cut on to the lightweight, the heavyweight A final, which I'm in, and I'm starting in P25. So I need to finish in the top 10 to make it through to the main super final, which I'm not entirely confident of doing, but we'll see what happens. So I did quite well through the first corner. Looks like now I'm being overtaken quite a lot. There's a bit I get sandwiched as well, and there's a lot of spinners. And it looks like, yes, a lot of people running across the grass, including the white and blue of our friend Don Tranquil. And I've actually made up a hell of a lot of positions, not in the top 10, but I'm certainly further up the field than I would have expected to be. So we're coming into the first of the reverse Lesmos, and it looks like we're going to cut away now and show you basically that through my race I just slowly lost positions through one way or another, mostly through the hairpins. And so yeah, that was my main A final. More overtaking, and yep, here we go, yet another overtake as this man comes through down the inside. Am I going to fight back? Oh no, that's the man in the pink helmet, who I swear has been in every single one of my sprint races. Anyway, he forced me off and I wasn't particularly happy about that, and as my race ends I throw a double shaka across the line. I finished 25th, so nothing gained, nothing lost. So now we're into the lightweight B final, and we're on board with number 27. It is Ben, and he's in with a better chance. Actually, I don't know what you have to do to finish in the top to get through to the lightweight A final, but Ben's going to just have finished as high as he possibly can to give himself the best chance possible. And he's done pretty well through the first corners, and he's coming into Christmas now, and he's going to try and be his normal aggressive self, and this time it has paid off. Well, sort of. He made up two positions but then lost another as we head down towards Lady Apron. The man who's ran wide onto the grass, and that man from Warwick has also ran wide, and looks, and Ben getting very much involved in it, and he's in the middle of a three-way, and he makes it through on one, but Sohail from Warwick has been able to maintain his position, so now Ben's stuck behind him coming into the boot as we head down towards the boot, and Ben looks to have gained on him. There's not a lot of room. He runs wide, and so you might be asking yourself what exactly happened there. We didn't quite able to see all of it, but I'm very happy to say that Adam decided to pick up the camera and film the whole thing. Look at that, it's absolutely glorious. What? Oh, that's just fantastic. And it's even better the fact I'm able to get in there and do some dancing. Ben, you really cocked up there. As we're about to see, as you managed to pick yourself a black flag, well done, that man. Well, not really, you mucked up. And that's the end of your race. So Ben didn't make it through to the A final for the lightweights, but someone who did was Adrian, and look who he stuck behind. He stuck behind the man he's been racing for in both of his heats, and he is actually starting quite far back. I think he was actually in 28th, so he was even lower than I was in my final. But anyway, as we head down towards Christmas, Adrian's lost 1 or 2 positions. Is he going to lose any more? Is he going to gain any more? We're going to find out, as there's a big bump there, sort of a chain reaction type thing. I think that's called the concertina effect. So yes, Adrian actually has done quite well for the moment. He's going to do something around the outside into the fast right hand, and now we come into Lady Apron. He's racing another man in a hoodie, and he gets a bit of a whack, and he hits that man as well. Hope everything worked out there. I'm guessing it did, because there was no report of it. And you would have expected him to lose a lot of positions there, but he just didn't. So there's a lot more racing going on here now, as the man he's been racing was also part of the Club 100 sandwich. As we come into Lady Apron, and Adrian's been bumped, and he hits that man off. Oh, that's very controversial, and even more controversial, Adrian managed to get himself a black flag for that. Which I'll admit is a bit harsh, because it wasn't actually his fault, it's the man behind's fault. But either way, we're going to laugh at him. There we are, I'm pointing. It's always funny when someone gets a black flag, especially when Adrian gets a black flag, because he's meant to be our captain, the leading light of us. And that's the end of Adrian's race. Again, not a lot happened, I'm really sorry about that. There's simply not enough entertaining stuff happening in most of the sprint races. So yeah, sorry about the lack of footage. I did ask the guys to upload their own videos to the Swansea University Motorsport page. But in terms of racing, that is officially it for the BUKC this year. It's been an absolute blast. I know the Grands Champ is happening, but no one from Swansea, well, people from Swansea are there, but I don't think they have GoPros, and I'm not going to make a video for them just because I don't want to. But yeah, again, end of the BUKC 2017, and also the end of the BUKC for Adrian, as he has dropped out of university for one reason or another, and so he's not going to be able to take part in the BUKC again. He might be able to do the Grand Champs next year, but we'll have to see what happens there. I'm sure we'll see him again. And you're also not going to see me racing again next year, because I'm a language student and I've got my year abroad. So hopefully we'll be able to bring out some more videos. That will obviously have to depend on how communications and stuff goes. But considering that this is the final video of the race, bit of racing, I feel that we can't just leave it on just shots of Adrian getting his car dressed down. So we're going to have a little end of season award, and because we're not very good, we're going to have the award to see who was the worst driver this year. The rules are very simple. If you had any incident of any kind, be it you spun, or you were punted out, or you got a black flag, that counts as a strike against you. And if there is a tie, then the person with the best finishing result finishes above you. So here we go, starting with the cleanest driver of the year in P8. It is, of course, the fashion statement himself. It is Adam, who ended up with a count of 4 and a best position of 11th, which kept him ahead of P2, which was Sean Pride, who also had a count of 4, but unfortunately a best position of 14 kept him puts him down to 7th. In P6 we have the man who's meant to be the leading light amongst us. It is Adrian Porter, our captain, who ended up with a count of 5. Just to point out, the Drivers' Champs do count as well, as do the qualifiers, as do the rookies. Yep, in P5 then, it is the best commentator around, which is of course me. I finished with a count of 5 as well, but unfortunately a best position of P11 versus P3, obviously that means I finished further down. Moving into the top half of this competition then, we have in P4 it's Will Goodhue, who finishes with a count of 6. And in the bronze medal position it is Gilbert Ang, who finishes with a count of 7. And that is mainly he actually only had a count of 5, but because he got us disqualified from one race, that means he gets, that's 2 counts, and that means he's in P3. So into the business end then, we have got our top 2, and in P2 we have got Ben Goodwin, who finished with a count of 13. He actually only had 9 incidents, but for the fact that he nearly killed a number of people in his pit stops, that gave him, I added an extra 4 on for him, so he gets 13. And in P1 then, it is of course Jasper, who finished with 16. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic from Jasper there. Well done, you are the dirtiest driver of the year for the Swansea Motorsport team. So that's your dirtiest drivers of the year. If you want to see us do some more awards, we can do, but probably not. But yeah, that's it for this episode. That's it for this series. I really hope you enjoyed what we've done this year. If you want to see us do it again next year, obviously it's going to be a little more difficult because I'm going to be abroad in Europe. But if you want to see us do this again, if you want to see us do some other content, just let us know in the comments. Let us know. Obviously, this goes on Facebook first. Let us know in the comments on there. Let us know in the comments on this video. But thank you so much for watching, and well, goodbye.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.